In yesterday's video, we talked about how hesitant the Sith Lords were to adopt lightsabers into their army, and how ancient Sith Lords were so ingrained in their history that they continued to use Force-imbued Sith swords far longer than the Jedi did. I also mentioned that the Jedi were the ones that actually began to pioneer the lightsaber, and although the Sith did have their contributions later down the line, the Jedi were the ones that took the initial steps of creating the weapon. But today, instead of focusing on how the Sith viewed some of the first lightsabers, I want to talk about how the Jedi viewed some of the first lightsabers, and the various trials and tribulations they came against when constructing a lightsaber, to the point where many of them were afraid to use them in active combat, in fear of their lives. But still, something beyond themselves pushed them forward to continue making the lightsaber. Just like the Sith, in the ancient order of the Jedi, they used Force-imbued swords and weapons, with some Jedi choosing to imbue the Force in their own essence into things like staff, as to maintain a more peaceful lifestyle. It was the Jedi, though, that the Force compelled to actually construct the first lightsabers, which we know as the proto-sabers. These lightsabers were very dangerous, and required a constant flow of energy in order to remain activated. One of the largest problems a Jedi had with the construction of a lightsaber was the energy source that the saber would use, as again, the constant flow of energy was necessary for the blade to remain active. Working with these crystals was also not very safe, as they would sometimes explode if they were not attuned correctly to the lightsaber hilt. Many Jedi would refer to the lightsabers as extremely cumbersome and untrustworthy in active combat. A lightsaber that appeared normal when struck against another lightsaber could actually explode, as the crystal would become unstable with energy, and unfortunately many Jedi lost their hands and arms during the construction of a lightsaber. Still though, again, the Force itself seemed to push the Jedi on to construct more and more advanced lightsabers. The Jedi also began using lightsabers in their ceremonies at this point in time, as every Jedi Master had a lightsaber, but also most of them had Force-imbued swords as well. The lightsaber became a ceremonial item for a Jedi Master, and they used it in the knighting ceremony far before they ever used them in active combat. Many Jedi believed that the lightsabers were a very extension of themselves, and although they did not operate appropriately in combat just yet, they still felt a deep connection with the crystal within it. A lightsaber was also an extremely exclusive weapon among the Jedi, with most times the only lightsabers to be found belonging to High Council members. Ironically though, a lot of the problems with the lightsaber would maintain until the Jedi exiles were sent away after falling to the dark side of the Force. To make a long story short, there was a large section of the Jedi Order that actually turned to the dark side after they began experimenting in Sith alchemy, and it was after they were banished into unknown space that these dark Jedi would become the Sith, and then advance the lightsabers even further, with it being the Sith who were responsible for fixing the battery pack issue. And then we pick up the history that we explored in yesterday's video about the Sith not integrating immediately to lightsabers and still using Force-imbued swords. But that is why most Jedi were afraid of some of the first lightsabers and were too terrified to use them in active combat. But what are your guys' thoughts on this, and why a lot of Jedi were afraid to use the lightsaber initially? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.